Welcome to the premiere episode of the Video Game Reviews, hosted by Calvin Cutler and Mike Ruth.
We're running. Introduction?
Oh well. Welcome to the Video Game Review with Mike Ruth and myself, Calvin Cutler. We're going to be talking about popular video games, our favorites, everything from our favorite pastime video games to new ones that are coming out, and our opinions, our views, funny stories we've had with them, all sorts of stuff. So anyways, Mike.
We're starting off in Modern Warfare 3, right?
Modern Warfare 3, the newest release from Infinity Ward, is that who released it?
I think it was a collaboration, but yeah.
Oh, Infinity Ward and Treyarch? Or because Treyarch made Call of Duty World at War, correct? And then they also made Black Ops.
Yes, they made Black Ops.
All right, well, evidently.
So I'm pretty sure Infinity Ward did Modern Warfare 3 series.
Yes.
Modern Warfare series.
Yeah. Well, either way, it's a fantastic game. I haven't really gotten much of a chance to play it. I mean, it's been out for quite a while, and I should have it. I've only gotten to play it once at like a video game party I was at. There were 5 TVs. We had like two people on each TV. It was insane. Everybody was playing on live together on Xbox Live. It was nuts, crazy. My
experience with the game is I actually own it. I've played it, all 3 modes: the multiplayer, the campaign, the Spec Ops, and I gotta say all 3 are really good.
Yeah, in Modern Warfare 2 there was Spec Ops, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, I played it a few times in Modern Warfare 2, but it was weak to say the least. It was really kind of lacking, and it was just, a rehash of other games. Like I think there was a Chernobyl mission from the first game, which they they put into the second one.
I remember playing that in the first game, and I remember playing it in the second game in Spec Ops, and then I went back and played the first game and realized, oh my god, they did it over again.
I know, I was shocked and appalled when that happened. I was like, what is this? But then of course I beat the mission, with like one arm tied behind my back, so it was awesome.
But I just want to say, the Spec Ops, I agree with you, in Modern Warfare 2 is a bit lacking, but it was still pretty fun to play. It's more fun to play in Modern Warfare 3, I gotta say that. Especially since they had the survival mode, which I like. It's really fun to play, especially with a friend.
Survival?
Yeah. It's basically like if you play the series Zombies, but without zombies. It's basically enemies with guns.
Oh, well, I can relate to that. I mean, I love Nazi zombies. In fact, that's actually my favorite thing about the Call of Duty franchise. I mean, of course, Modern Warfare never has the Nazi zombies, but it's my favorite thing ever, and that's what keeps me going back to Black Ops.
Zombies, for me, I like it. If I play with friends but alone, I am terrible at it. I die by wave 5.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty good alone. I mean, depends on what map I'm playing on, but I can really get going up to the mid-20s. I've gotten up to level 35 is my ultimate highest, and I was like, oh my god, it took me hours to do it, and I was sitting there. I skipped international studies because I was like, oh, I'm in the zone. I can't leave. But anyways.
Yeah, those modes are always fun where you're just killing off random people as long as you can, but eventually you die and you're like, oh.
So it's all for nothing.
You're having so much fun doing it while you're doing it. It just doesn't matter when you die.
Yeah, that's true. But anyways, and then the campaign in Modern Warfare 3, I watched my friend Nick play through a few of the levels in the campaign, and it looks really promising and really well done.
It is. I'm not going to spoil anything, but I'm just going to talk about the beginning here. Not really spoiling the ending or middle or anything. Basically, Modern Warfare 2 ends with you almost dying. Modern Warfare 3, you get saved, and half of it's about that, going through, not as that person, not as Soap, I think it was.
Yeah, Soap, yeah.
But as one of his allies. And it has scenes like from the first and second game, I think,
Mm-hmm.
but from different points of view, which makes it like that, like much more awesome. Like you actually go through the
Yeah.
campaign and you see these things, and you're like, oh, that was in the other one.
Yeah, I mean, because actually, that's really a stylistic trait that I think the entire Call of Duty franchise uses. I mean, before Infinity Ward and Treyarch started, making them, actually maybe Treyarch was, but I mean, back in like Call of Duty 1, 2, and 3, you were like playing as, Russians one minute, then you'd be playing as like an American the next minute, then, the British. And, the Call of Duty franchise is really stuck to that, philosophy of mixing up your characters, so you really get a giant range of characterization throughout the game.
Yeah, I find that fun also in that like it doesn't really like get boring in one character's point of view, and like you get to see different scenery at like different points of time. Like if you're playing in the middle of nowhere, like in the desert or something, and you're just like awesome, but that scenery would get like tired after a while.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I like how it changes characters. It goes from one character in one setting to another character in a completely different setting.
Yeah.
Like an urban or a forest setting,
Mm-hmm.
besides that desert, and it just like that variety makes it a bit more.
And it
better.
keeps you on your toes. I mean, one minute you'll probably be in like a sniper level or something like that, like the Chernobyl level I was talking about earlier, where you have to, stay low and be quiet. And then the next level, you're like coming into an office building that's been like taken over by, neo-Russian communists, and they're just awesome times.
Yeah, and also like the different difficulties, like the veteran difficulty I always play it on because it's so much fun. Because even if you die a lot, you're getting challenged, and if you do make it through, you just get that awesome sense of accomplishment and that like little achievement that says you completed it, and it's just.
I haven't tried doing it on Modern Warfare, but on World at War, I tried going through on like the hardest difficulty. I think it was Veteran,
Yeah.
and I'm about halfway through the game. I mean, I kind of put it down for a while, but I'm gonna probably pick it up because it was a lot of fun. It's so realistic, in a sense of the word. I mean, you get shot twice, you're dead. So.
Yeah. So do we want to move on to another game?
Oh, sure. Well, I mean, that was Call of Duty, pretty much the franchise in general.
Yep.
What's another game you like, Mike?
Well, one of my favorite series in video games is Assassin's Creed.
Love it. I've tried playing Assassin's Creed myself, and it's above my level. I mean, I'm here, there are some games, there's, certain franchises and levels of games, Call of Duty with the first-person shooter over here. You got Assassin's Creed with the not first person, but the third-person, stealth kind of puzzle-solving game. Assassin's Creed is over here, Call of Duty's here. I'm more on this side of the spectrum when it comes to gaming. So that's not really my style, but I know a lot of people who play it, and I've watched countless hours of that game.
Yeah, basically my point of gaming is like I'm not really like as concerned with like the game's style, more of the game's story.
Mm-hmm.
If it's a good story, like it's fantastic, but like the play style also contributes to that. Like,
oh, of course.
Modern Warfare like contributes to the story with first person. Like you're actually that person.
Mm-hmm.
In third person games like Assassin's Creed, which I like, is like it's more of you're watching the story. You're like contributing the story in your own way.
Yeah, you're like in the action, but not really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And especially Assassin's Creed story is that it's so in depth and like so like sort of involved.
Yeah. How many games are there? They just came out with.
There's one, there's two, there's Brotherhood, and there's Revelations. So I'm pretty sure there's 4
Revelations.
games.
Yep. That's a lot. I mean, what's the longest video game series? Not including like Mario or anything like that, because there's like countless Mario games. But the longest one, like for the Xbox, I mean, there's the Call of Duty. I mean, that's
probably the longest series because it's it has like a big fan base.
Yeah, that's like on number 7, I think, 6 or 7.
Yeah, I would say about that.
Somewhere around there, anyways. But Assassin's Creed, I mean, it's a great game. I mean, another thing I also look for in video games is the music. Modern Warfare 2 had the soundtrack was composed, written, and performed by Hans Zimmer and his orchestra. They did the music to Inception. Those epic, just the epic ballads that, really give you those oh my god kind of moments. So I don't think he did Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, but that has awesome music as well.
I know one person did the music for the Assassin's Creed series, but I'm not exactly sure who it is. But another thing is, like, I forget where I was going here. Oh yeah, another series, just getting a little off topic here, that has some really good music, is BioShock.
BioShock. I can safely say I've never played BioShock ever.
It's a horror series, sort of.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, the soundtrack to it's mostly, like, old-timey music, like that. Have you ever heard that song, like, The Little Dog in the Window? Like how much...
I listen to the Bee Gees, so no.
Yeah.
No.
It's more like old-timey, like, vinyl record type of songs, and it's pretty cool.
Like from the 30s and 40s, that kind of stuff?
I would say so.
Daisy Bell, or whatever it was called. Yeah, something like that. I mean, old-time songs. Yeah, I get what you mean.
Yeah. But, like, yeah, I agree with you. Like, the soundtrack, like, agrees with the music.
Yeah, and it is huge. It's a huge part of every game. I mean, I can't tell you how many games I've played that have awesome plots and awesome graphics, awesome story, but then I find it lacking in, the sound department. What was one game? Just Cause 2. I don't know if you've ever played that one.
No,
it was made by Eidos, or however you pronounce the company. I think it's the #1 biggest sandbox game in the world. I mean, I think it's about 100 square miles, like, in the game, which is awesome. And just the sound recording on it, like the actors voicing and the music, it was just really poorly done. It was still a great game, and I've logged so many hours on it, but it was poorly done, to say the least.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like, getting back to Assassin's Creed, another thing that makes it good, and another thing that makes any game good, is, like, the challenge to it. Like, in an Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, there was these cliffs everywhere that, like, if you found them, it, like, unlocks, like, a puzzle that you have to solve. And if you solved all of them, you got, like, this kind of mysterious...
Was that kind of like in the first one where you had to go on top of each tower or something like that?
Yeah, sort of like that.
Yeah, kind of.
But you didn't really have to do it.
Yeah.
It's just more of the fun and, like, to add to the mystery. And, like, these puzzles were really challenging.
Mm-hmm.
Like, some of the puzzles were, there's, like, 10 pictures, and like, you're given a sentence clue. And you have to find the 5 pictures that have to do with that clue.
I could tell you, I'd never be able to do that, ever. I mean, I'm terrible with puzzles in video games. That's why Call of Duty is more my style.
I know. Even I have some trouble doing it, and I, like, really like the games.
Mm-hmm.
I have to go online and, like, find, like, how to do it, actually.
Oh, yeah, I've had to do that several times for games.
But I always try my best to actually do it by myself first.
Mm-hmm.
That's how real gamers do it.
Yeah, and if they can't do it at first, well, internet, Google. Yeah, that always works out at the end. But either way, I mean, what can you say? It's Assassin's Creed. It is a great game. I mean, and the graphics in it, phenomenal. So, but either way, any last thoughts on Assassin's Creed before we move on to the next one?
I just want to say, like, it's a really good game, and, like, they've actually went, like, a new way, like, recently. They had, like, this first-person element they put in recently. And I find, like, as Desmond's point of view,
Mm-hmm.
the main character,
Yeah.
in case you don't know, and I found that, like, interesting how they, like, mixed up how they play. And, you know, that's something that's, like, really interesting, and I can't wait to see how they do it in the future.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty interesting. So anyways, moving on to our next game, Portal 2. Have you ever played it before?
I've played the demo of Portal 1, and it was really fun, actually. But I have not played Portal 2 now.
Yeah, I've played Portal 1 and 2. Portal 2, unlike Portal 1, has a multiplayer option, so you can have 2 people playing. My sister and I have played extensively, and let me tell you, she leads the way with that game. I mean, it's a tough game. Some games like Assassin's Creed are like, are puzzle games, but this is like a puzzle game to the max. I mean, you have to figure out which wall to put your portal on, so like you walk through, and then you come out here. I mean, it's amazing what they've done with the game and how the physics of the game have really changed the way gaming works today. So, I don't know. I mean, it is a fantastic game.
Like what do you mean by like the physics? Like
Well, let's
like
just say,
gravity?
yeah, like gravity or the weight of objects. Let's just say, because in the game, I don't, for people who don't know, you have like a portal gun as kind of, and you can shoot 2 portals. So you shoot one at a wall, and you can shoot one on the ceiling. You'd walk through that one on the wall, and you'd fall out the ceiling. So that's how it kind of works. And the gravity, even though you're walking this way, you'd come out face down, but then you'd flip over. So it just keeps, you really on your toes with the orientation, the gravity, and the physics of the game, and how they've, come to manage it.
Yeah, I like the game. I appreciate it. But like there's always that temptation to do that really stupid thing that everybody knows about. How you like put a portal on the floor and portal on the ceiling and you just
fall forever. And I love that one.
And that's the kind of thing people do. They just like have fun with it. You know? They play the game, they also have tons of fun with it, which is the main thing about gaming.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, as fun as gaming is, and as people, they put gaming first, and it's like, oh, I have to make sure my Call of Duty rank is #1 in the entire world. But really, all that matters in the end is if you're having fun.
Yeah. Like in any game, like in Portal, like how you do the portal thing that you fall infinitely in Assassin's Creed. And if you just want to randomly kill guards in Modern Warfare, if you just really want to be annoying and noob tube everybody,
of course,
you can do it as long as it makes you happy. But it won't make anyone else on your team happy in Modern Warfare.
That's true, and people will hate you. They'll probably report you, send you, offensive messages, and that's the downside to online gaming. But
yeah, the point is, in games, you have to have a balance. You have to have fun, but you got to make sure you don't ruin everyone else's fun.
Oh, of course, yeah. I've never really played Halo. I'm not a big Halo guy. I don't know if you are or not, but the few matches I've really played on Halo, I'd walk into the session, and then some guy'd pull the pin on a grenade and kill our entire team. It's like, well, that's no fun. So that's, probably part of the reason why I've never actually set out to actually play Halo.
My experience with Halo is the only 2 games I've really played with Halo is Halo Reach and another Halo game that I totally forget the name of.
ODST?
No. It was more of a real-time strategy game.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what it's called though, but I had fun with that one, but with the actual, and that was kind of breach off the series. It wasn't actually a game like normal Halos. It was just an outreach sort of type game.
Was that? Oh yeah, okay.
I don't know what the name of it is.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
That's all right.
With Halo Reach, I liked it in the campaign, but in the multiplayer, I found it way unbalanced.
Yeah, lacking.
It took a lot of shots to kill someone. Unlike Modern Warfare or games like that where you shoot people and you don't have that Spartan suit of armor and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, although Halo is taking place in a futuristic world, and I'm sure they do have armor and shields and whatnot, it just kind of takes away from the fun of the game where I catch a guy off guard. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get a kill. So then I start firing my weapon, and I have to go through 3 clips just to kill the guy. But in the meantime, he goes, oh, I'm being fired at. Turns around and I don't know, melees me or something like that, and I'm dead. And I'm like, oh, that's one thing keeping me away from Halo.
But also in Halo, I like it. If I play the multiplayer, I have fun with it. Even if I'm not trying to be annoying.
With the vehicles, that's my favorite part.
Yeah, that's the main thing I like for Halo. Yeah. It has vehicles. It has things that fly, and you can shoot them.
Yep.
And games like Modern Warfare don't have that. Well, I think Battlefield does, but I'm not a particular fan of that series.
I've played it a few times. Once at that gaming party, and let me tell you, those maps are huge.
But going back to Modern Warfare again, I like the kill streaks idea.
Yeah.
It's because in games like Halo and such, you just kill and kill and kill. You don't really get rewarded for it. I like that reward for it.
Yeah.
Especially in Modern Warfare 3, like how they have that different kill streaks. I go with the support kill streak strike package because like I help my team.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's really good to have different, styles of players on your team. Of course, you always need the team helpers, then you have the people who, get the AC-130 and they attack the team or attack the other team, should I say? So.
Or if they're being
or the
annoying,
defense.
they
Oh,
attack their team.
Yeah.
Or if it's hardcore and you're like looking at someone and like you're not sure if they're an enemy or a friend, and you just shoot them.
Yep.
I find it annoying when I got kicked from the game for that.
Oh,
Like I just fired a predator missile or something, and a friend of mine got in the way. Boom.
I know,
I get
it's like,
kicked.
it's not like you can control it when it's a Predator missile, like an AC-130. It's like, come on.
Or if it's like an airstrike.
Oh,
And
of
like,
course. Yeah, it's not your fault, technically.
yeah, but
They're just
still
in the
kick you
way.
from the game,
Mm-hmm.
which I find a bit unfair. But game's still fun. I
Mhm.
mean, they have those rules for a reason.
Yeah. So you don't actually get, team killers like in Halo.
Yeah.
But Halo's still a good game nevertheless. So,
On to another game.
sure. Oh, and right, we have to wrap up Portal because I guess we were talking about that.
Oh yeah, we totally got off without there.
Well, either way, Portal's a good game, and I highly recommend it. So, any other games?
Shoot go to there.
Skyrim. Let me tell you about Skyrim. I haven't played it at all.
Neither have I.
I have singly just taken myself intentionally out of the Skyrim realm because, people are freaking out over it. It's huge. It has great graphics, excellent story. It has hours upon hours of built-in gameplay. It's ridiculous. So, I don't know.
I've heard many good things about it, though. Like, how you can do dragons. And I've heard some really weird things about it, too. Like how every book in the game you can read.
Every book?
Yeah, there's even books about, like, farming records and stuff. And they're, like, you can actually flip through and read them. Which seems a bit weird to me. And there's, like, a backstory to everything, and it sounds
The
weird.
level of detail they put in these games is just amazing. The map, number one, is huge. Supported by the graphics and the voice, sounding for each character and the music and the story, the plot, the gameplay. It's amazing, really, once you think of it, what video games have come to. Coming from a little, actually, I don't want to say little, but a big arcade game playing Pong back in, like, the late 70s, that was high tech. But now it's just a CD, and you get brilliant gameplay on it. It's really amazing.
Yeah. Another thing about it, like, it's a game I want to get. Like, eventually, maybe if it's, like, maybe I'll buy it used from GameStop or something after it's, like, gone down a bit in price. But, like, I'm a more gamer where it's, like, I like Assassin's Creed, Modern Warfare, that sort of games. Like, I'm not really into that many RPG-type games.
Yeah.
But
Well,
there's
isn't Assassin's Creed kind of an RPG?
Well, sort of. But, like, my version of RPG is, like, you have skills and you, like, assign them.
Oh,
and, like,
that's
work
true,
on them
yeah.
and stuff.
Okay, yeah. Like, but is there multiplayer in Skyrim?
I don't believe so. Not that I've heard of.
See, that's one thing that I need for games. Is I need a multiplayer aspect, a really strong multiplayer. I love having a strong story, but the multiplayer is really what keeps me going back for more, so I can get my rank up or, get to the next level.
And it's also fun to play with friends.
Oh, of course. I can't tell you how many times I've just sat there, and then I'll be playing with a friend, and he's like, hey, there's a party open. And I jump into a party, and then there's all these friends from school and all these people I know. It's like, hey, guys, what's going on?
Another good thing I've heard about Skyrim, like, well, I've heard it on a review, but it seems like a good thing, like, is that the person that I read said, Skyrim is a type of game where it's like, you ask yourself, oh, can I go do that? And the game answers yes, every time. Unlike, games like Modern Warfare, where, like, the campaign is like, you go straight through.
Yeah, it's like a direct course. You can't really, like, run around, and you can't... Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
You can run around a bit, but, like, it's
sort
limited.
Of. Yeah, it's a linear game, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good word for it.
But it's still
linear.
fun for it.
Yeah.
Like, each game has its own fan base. Each game has, like, its own type of fun. And that just like adds to the whole world of gaming, how like fun it is and how diverse it is.
Yeah, and I think games like Skyrim and Just Cause 2, big sandbox games, I love sandbox games, they can really testify towards that. So, I don't know. So, anyways, any last thoughts on Skyrim?
I've heard it's a nice game. I want to get it someday, maybe. But for right now, there's nothing more I can say.
All right, well, same with me pretty much. I mean, I would like to get it. It looks like a very cool game, but it just doesn't seem like my style, really. You know, as you said, the RPG. You know, I look for multiplayer, you know, aspects in games. So either way, it's going to be a good game. So anyways, any last thoughts as we wrap up our little session here?
Not that I can think of.
All right, well, tune in next time for the video game chat review with Mike and Calvin.
See you later.
We hope you enjoyed watching the first episode of Video Game Reviews. We'll see you again next week.